Well, somehow it worked. I just tried it and it worked. It's the 3rd of December, Rabbi Levitt, Pelayoetz.
Good morning.
Hey,
Morning, Alan.
welcome. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
Okay, let's see. What do we have here today? Are we on the page 146? We are in the entry of Geder, protective devices. We're talking about different protective devices that we should use to make sure that we do the Ratzon Hashem. So now we're going to start with the bottom paragraph on page 146. Would you like to start for us, Lou?
A person should examine the complete confessional, identify those sins which he violates regularly and perfunctorily, excuse me, and write down the following. How can I do this great evil whose punishment is such and such? Why would I violate this or that commandment? Why would I not have pity on my soul? Why would I not have pity on the honor of my Creator? Is not the hour of Torah and good deeds in this world better than all of the world to come? And 1 hour of pleasantness in the world to come better than all of this world? In the same way, even 1 hour of distress in the world to come is worse than all of the troubles in this world. And 1 hour of causing the exalted Supreme King anger in this world is a greater tragedy to those who fear Hashem and value his name than all the evils of the world to come. As such, I accept upon myself, without a vow, to either be careful of such and such or perform such and such mitzvah. If I violate today any of the things which I have assumed, I will pay a fine for each and everything. In order to atone for my sins, which have gotten out of control, I will conduct myself with asceticism and deprive myself of such and such without fail. May the Lord, my God, help me. Help us, O God of our salvation, for the sake of your name, etc. The following day, one must evaluate if he maintained his vigilance. If he failed, he must immediately pay the specific fine and reread this script. He should either increase or decrease the degree of his assumed conduct in order that he should succeed in keeping his commitment. He must do this on a daily and monthly basis without fail. If he can do this together with a good friend, such that God-fearing people will speak to one another, it is good and pleasant. Test me with this, and you will see wondrous things. This script is holy, and the reading and remembering is a great protective device and tower of strength. I will write more about this in the entries Zechira and Siag. This is all on condition that a person never misses a day for his entire life. Behold, the divine presence stands upon him.
In other words, it is a great protective device and a tower of strength. on the condition that he never misses a day for his whole life. Yeah, that by definition is a great thing that he did every day. Wow. Okay, so even if I mean, I'm not. What he says here is surely tremendous, and I think we all understand that. What he says here, if someone could do such a thing, more power to him, as they say. That's tremendous, and we could see over here that he says you can test me on this. You can test this and do this what I've told you over here, and I'm sure that it'll work. I'm sure that it'll be a tremendous protective device for you. That's what he's saying. Just trying to get my picture back over here.
So we're on paragraph.
Good morning, Roy.
Morning.
Right.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning. Right. We're on.
We are on. We just finished the entry on page 147 of protective devices.
Okay. And
So what the only thing I was going to say was we see over here in what he's written that there's many different ways to motivate a person to do the right thing. We see that writing down different exhortations to say to oneself and to read it aloud, and the first thing I should say is that what we're doing over here is we're making a record of our business. Every businessman, if you would ask a business coach, what am I doing wrong? And he would say, well, like, do you know how much money you're making? Do you know how many expenses that you have? Do you know what your employees are doing? Do you like, what do you know? Are you keeping track of how things are progressing? That's being a serious businessman. And I mean, it's probably otherwise you wouldn't really not even called a businessman at all. You make that you do all of those things, that you're keeping record and keeping track of what it is that's going on in your business. That means that you are a businessman. If you're not keeping track of your business, I don't know what you are. You're not really a businessman at all. I don't know. you're just you're dabbling in whatever it is. So over here, he's telling us that this is basically true also of our Torah and mitzvahs that we do. We've got to make a business out of it, and making a business out of it means that we keep track of how it is that we're doing. Are we doing? What are the things that we got to do? And let's keep track. Did I do those things that I need to do today? And did I stay away from those things that I need to stay away from today? And every day I keep track, and I go over and every week, every month, I make a monthly statement and all that type of thing. That's part of taking our Yiddishkeit seriously. So that's that's the first thing that he's telling us to do. That's the first thing. And then he has all sorts of, a businessman, he knows why it is that he's doing this. He's because nobody has to tell him. He's got one reason why he's doing this. He needs to make a parnasa. He doesn't have to constantly say, I've really got to make money because I've got to make a parnasa. I have family, I have children, I have grandchildren, I have a house, and I have bills, and I have. You don't have to tell him that. So, but when it comes to Ruchnius, we have to be told and reminded of ourselves of why it is that we do Torah and mitzvahs, because the Yetzer Hara is gonna get us to forget, and he's only gonna start getting us to think about the things that he wants us to think about, and all of these calculations of how can I do this great evil, and what's going to be my punishment for this, and if that doesn't talk to you, so then he's got another reason. How can I do this if it's something that's going to be a pagia? It's going to be an affront to the honor of my Creator. Maybe that will speak to us. And if that doesn't, also then what about Olam Haba? He wants to have an Olam Haba of spiritual pleasure. So therefore he wants to do Torah and mitzvahs, and all of these different, there's so many different aspects that we remind ourselves of why it is that we are here to do Torah and mitzvahs, and so he's reading this script that it's all a pep talk to remind us of why it is that we do what it is that we do, and it'll help us to keep to what it is that we have to do, and stay away from what it is that we not do. And then if all of that doesn't work, he says, I have another thing. If all those things don't speak so much, and you don't seem to get too much benefit from that, what about if you do X today that you're not supposed to do, you have to pay $10. Oy vey, $10. Yeah, that's what you made up. So if all the other things don't work, then we have this as a backup, that we got to pay $10. Oh, think twice about doing that today. Oh yes, for sure. So this is the story. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say is that if you don't want to do it all so elaborately and in great detail and saying all these things, it's going to take too much time. Just do however much of it that you feel that you want to do. That will also be a benefit. Definitely a benefit. Yeah. So that is the, and how do I know what it is that I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do? Well, he said his thing is, Eitzah is, take a look at the vidui that we say, on Yom Kippur and on Seres Metshuva and during Chodesh Elul and on a fast day, and then you'll get a list of the things that when we say say vidui on, we'll see. Those are the things that we have to stay away from. Those are the things we have to make sure that we do. Okay. Very good. Yes. Question. Very clear. It's very clear. The only thing is that the last line that he says is you have to not be too discouraged. He says, and this that I'm telling you, test me on this, and you'll see that it's true, is only on the condition that you never miss a day. And also about that too. And if you do miss a day, okay, so you missed a day. So start tomorrow. So start today. And if you miss tomorrow, you miss today, so do it the next day. Any day that you do it, and any day and every week that you do it, is wondrous, wondrous thing to do. It's a very good thing. Okay. Now we get up to the section of the Gentile, the Umas Ha'olam. He has a page and a half over here.
Yeah.
Okay, Alan,
Okay.
please.
The Gentile, our sages, Talmud Yerushalmi, Interpret 8 said, one needs to be careful not to anger even a Gentile child because their anger is eternal. And when they grow up, they will seek revenge. Yerushalmi relates the story of a pig shepherd that was beaten by Jews and later became a king. If not for the fact that Rabbi Yehoshua had bestowed upon him a kindness, he would have wanted to wreak total destruction. The person also needs to be concerned, even if the Gentile is incapable of doing anything less than non-Jew, and some of his friends find him alone in the middle of the night or on the road and place him in danger. Therefore, it is not good to argue with a Gentile, even a disheveled and repulsive adolescent, for one does not know what each day may bring. If one does so, he violates the provision of, and you shall exceedingly guard your life. It is not good even if he just causes a curse upon himself. Behold, our sages noted Bava Kama, the curse of a common person should not be insignificant in your eyes. As we wrote above in the entry Raka, on the contrary, a person should be the first to address every person, even a Gentile in the marketplace. If you chase financial success, you should not extend formal gift. You should extend a formal gift from time to time to Gentiles in order to fill Kahalas. Send your bread upon the waters, for in the course of time you will discover it. The people who are close to the government need to be especially careful to bestow kindnesses upon all Gentiles, for they may have many enemies through jealousy, and their eyes are darkened by seeing Jews in positions of greatness and power. If he treats them badly in his official capacity, their anger will be upending and will bear a grudge and seek revenge like a snake, waiting for the day when he leaves his office. There is no man who does not have an desire of success. About these situations, it says in Koheles, on the day of good, be good. On the day of evil, beware.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Roy, I'd like to continue.
How shall a Jewish man find favor so that everyone will like him, seek his good and support him in his time of need? He must perform acts of kindness and bestow gifts upon all the Gentiles, for a bribe will blind their eyes. A wise man already said, hundreds of thousands of friends should not be too many in your eyes, nor should one enemy be too few, for one foe can slay the king. Therefore, one who guards his soul should seek the peace of every Gentile, adult and child. Even if the non-Jew hit him, shamed him, or stole from him, he should bend his head and forbear for the sake of atonement. God told him to curse.
In other words, not trying to get back at him.
Beg your pardon?
In other words, the same that we would say about a Jew. That just like we say that, just like David said that when Shimi ben Gera, the Rosh Sanhedrin, cursed him and vilified him and slung mud on him, David said, yes, don't do anything to him. He told his men. Hashem told him to do this. Therefore, we're not going to respond. We're not going to not going to take revenge from him. We're not going to seek to punish him. Let's go weiter. And so the same thing, the same attitude he's saying over here should be also no less in regard to a non-Jew. Even if the non-Jew is out of bounds, nevertheless, we should just forget about it and just go weiter and not escalate the machlokes.
Mhm. All right, so, okay. So even if the non-Jew hit him and shamed him or stole from him, he should bend his head, forbear for the sake of an atonement. We can say then that God told the non-Jew to curse. At that same moment, he should make a blessing upon the evil with great joy. Blessed so-and-so who has not made me a Gentile. Oh, sorry. So
Listen is Hashem.
yeah, Baruch Hashem. So the beginning of all the brachas the standard brachas that you say, has not made me a Gentile. I've already written that God considers exile for the good. Whatever of value the Gentiles consumed, he should treat as charity, as it is written in Yeshayahu 60:17. And those who oppress you, I will consider it as charity. These matters depend on the nature of a person and the degree to which one needs to be concerned about even a remote possibility. For if we allow them to consume our wealth, anyone who is hungry will come and eat, and what will we have left? Rather, every wise man must conduct himself with intelligence. He should run away from arguing with a non-Jew to the best of his ability. He should plead for the compassion that God should save him from an evil man. He should love and pursue peace, and he should increase the number of his friends. By doing so, we will survive among the Gentiles until our Maker has pity upon us, breaks the yoke of exile from our necks, and we, Israel, will dwell in security upon our land and inheritance of our fathers. So may it be his will speedily in our days. Amen.
I have one comment. He wrote this a long time ago, before there were quote unquote Palestinians. How would he handle that one?
I think there's a difference between a guy who is seeking to kill you and otherwise. If a guy is just sort of slandering you and that, but if a guy is trying to kill you, or even if a Jew is trying to kill you, you are, I think, allowed to do something about that.
They always try to kill us. In the Middle Ages, what they did during the Crusade.
But what he's saying over here is he's not saying that a person can't defend himself.
Right.
He didn't say that when a goy tries to punch you in the nose, you can't defend. You say, oh yes, please let me have that punch. You run away. That's what he said to do. You can defend yourself. You could resist the punishment. You can resist the what he's trying to do to you. That's for sure. But what he's saying is that after whatever he did to you, so this is where your question comes in. What's now our response? What's now our response? Are we gonna say, oh, you did that to me? Oh, I'm gonna remember this one. I'm gonna remember this one. Beware. He says, no, that's not the thing to do. That's not the thing to do. It's only gonna make things. You do that, and then the guy's gonna come back with even more force. So you ask, well, what about as a country? What about as a country? Here we have a country over here. So now we're going to also do the same thing. We're going to act like a single individual that doesn't fight back, doesn't take revenge. So I don't know, but he's talking about from one goy and one Jew, right? If one Arab does something to one Jew, is the Jew advised to go to his house and try to take revenge from him? That's all he's saying. This is not what he should do. Just forget it and go on. Should he tell the police about it? Should he sue him in the court? I think that he's saying just forget it. Wouldn't get involved. And I think that you'd find a lot of people today that would say, yeah, that's what you should do, because what you don't know what his next response is going to be. Just be happy that you got out of it with some bad words and that's it, and a push, and that's it. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day, and go weiter. Oh, that's it?
No, it's only 11:05.
Oh, I thought you said Shabbat Shalom. Okay.
I did.
Oh, to somebody else.
Because you said have a good day.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what-
you don't think, I don't think you have to tell the Arab Shabbat Shalom, but anyway. You could just say,
Some-
yeah, have a good day.
John's therapist would say Shabbat Shalom to us when he left.
Okay. So, but it's interesting what he says over here. He said, I mean, this is, he says even to give, I mean, he's talking about somebody who's in a position of he has a position in the government, or he's recognized as a very wealthy and influential individual. He should, because there's all sorts of people that are have eyes on him, and not just Jews, and so therefore he has to give them things in order to appease them. They shouldn't be jealous of him. They should think, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. He gave me a present. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Very well. Okay, a round of applause for finishing protective devices and the Gentile. Hooray! And also page 146 and 7 and 8. We go on to Gila. Oh, this is my wife's name. Okay. Okay, back to Lou.
It is written, and rejoice with trembling. Our sages commented, there should be trembling in the place of rejoicing. Such is the way of men of war when they see their enemy overcoming them. They raise a battle cry and scream against the threatening army. Likewise, in a place of rejoicing, a man's evil inclination attacks him because he mistakenly thinks that it has fallen into his hand. The fear of God is not before his eyes, since he is totally engaged in celebration and joy. And the evil inclination deceives him and makes him forget the rock of his sanctity. And he must raise a battle cry and scream. The fool, however, increases his involvement in prohibited matters, looks at illicit objects, and indulges in all kinds of different prohibitions that result from excessive eating and drinking. Therefore, a man who fears God will place God in front of him at all times. Before he enters a place of celebration, he will accept upon himself not to eat and drink too much, not to engage in excessive conversation, and not to partake of other prohibitions associated with rejoicing. In the midst of his happiness, he will remember the pure fear of God. This is a special device that prevents wine from harming him or making him act irrationally. The story has already been told that the Baal Shem Tov once drank a large glass of very strong beer, thinking that it was wine, and almost fainted. He immediately closed his eyes and in a brief moment regained his composure, as if he had not drunken at all. His disciples asked him what remedy he had employed. He responded, "You must know that our sages said wine is harsh. Fear causes sobriety. There is no fear like the fear of God, the splendor of his greatness. Therefore, right away, when I deeply thought about the fear of God, the effect of the beer passed. One also needs to fulfill the mitzvah of remembering the ways in which he angered God, and the remembering of Jerusalem, just like our sages interpreted the verse. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Remember it at the time one might forget it. So too, in these matters, the primary obligation of remembering is during happy and joyous occasions when one might otherwise forget them. This is another great protective device to prevent a person from deviating from the proper norm and to keep him on the straight path in all ways.
Okay, so this is the reason why at a chasna they break the glass. We're supposed to remember that the Yerushalayim is in a state of Churban, without a Beis Hamikdash, Jewish people. So at the time of our greatest joy, we remember Yerushalayim.
But then straight after breaking the glass, people shout, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov!
Okay, so maybe they should take a few seconds before they say that.
Yeah, before I learned about the connection between the glass and the temple, I thought it was a sign of joy.
Right. So that's this entry over here.
I just hope the Baal Shem Tov didn't make a bracha levatala and make the bracha over wine, but drank beer. I assume that he'd made the appropriate brachas previously in his meal.
Yeah, right. Certainly. Okay, so that's the point. That's what that story is saying that that when the Baal Shem Tov said that the Talmidim asked him, "How did you do that? How did you all of a sudden just snap out of it as though you didn't even drink all that alcohol?" So he said, "I was just focused on the fear of Hashem, and that I'm standing before Hakadosh Baruch Hu right now." And so then I remembered, okay, yes, this is where I am. I'm not just possessed by my appetite to and intoxication and chas v'shalom to do something that would be inappropriate. So this is what he has to say about rejoicing. We have to do it in the correct way, and that's the eitzah, to be able to do it in the correct way. No one's saying that we shouldn't celebrate, but we celebrate in a way which is the way of Torah. And how do you do that? So that's what the glass is for, at the chasna, and that's what the eitzah of the Baal Shem Tov is telling us over here as well. Okay. All right. More time. We have more time.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay. Wow. We are really flying over here. So a round of applause for page 159 and for Gila. Okay. Goof. We go to Alan.
The body, goof. The body relative to the soul is considered as non-existence and less than nothingness. It is proper for every intelligent person to deprive his body and encumber it with all kinds of burdens in order to purify his soul and provide satisfaction for his creator. He should not have pity on his body at all, in situations where the honor of heaven is at stake. He should keep his body healthy and strong in order to perform his service, the duty of a servant. Our eyes see that every man will endure all kinds of monetary or physical suffering with the consolation that is less than death and prevents death from approaching him. The person is so concerned about the departure of the soul from his body, even if a person will live for many years, ultimately he will die. How much more so must we be concerned that the punishment of the soul in the world to come, which is more bitter than death. In truth, the person would not be apprehensive about the separation of the soul from the body if he knew that he was going to walk with God in the land of the living, and euphemism for the world to come. The only thing that he should be concerned about is that through the connection of the soul and the body, he can achieve the highest path of life and avoid the nether world. Conclusion: a man must be willing to give everything that he possesses, both his body and his money, for the sake of his soul, just like he would give it all not to be killed. This is the whole of man.
Wow, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Fruit for thoughts. We go to the next paragraph. Back to Roy.
However, a person whom God has graced with intelligence to love God in truth is befitting his soul, will also be prepared to sacrifice his life for the sanctification of his name. To the extent that it was possible that one who serves God inherits Gehinnom and one who commits sins inherits Gan Eden, which is impossible, he would agree to inherit Gehinnom, descend to the pit of destruction, and have his soul consumed by fire and made into ashes, in order to provide gratification for his creator. This is our obligation and the most proper thing for us. Who is the wise man who truly comprehends this? Yet we must do that which is within our ability and the scope of our understanding. We must not have pity on our bodies, and by thus restraining ourselves, we will provide satisfaction for our Creator. The Lord our God will help us. Amen.
Wow, Roy got 2 amens over here today.
Yeah.
So far. Okay, so very good. So something to think about. Something to think about. He has to be more concerned for the well-being of his soul, even though he has to be very concerned about the well-being of his body in order that it allows him to do what is best for his soul. That's certainly true, but he should never do anything for the sake of his body, which is at the expense of his soul, that's where the real issue comes in over here that I think that he's getting to, and he doesn't give any examples, but I guess he just means to say that, for example, I'll give an example. A person he wakes up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's cold and I'm tired and this and that and but he knows that he's supposed to get up. He's got to go to the minyan. So his body is saying, please have pity on me. I'm tired. I don't feel 100%. Okay, if he doesn't feel 100%, maybe he shouldn't go out. He has to protect his body. But if he's just tired, so still the body says, the Yetzer Hara says, your body needs to rest. No, your body needs to get up and go to chakras. So the body doesn't want that, but that's the best thing for the soul. So that would be one just very simple example, which everybody knows is the case over here, to illustrate his points. That we have to be more concerned for the well-being of the soul than with the well-being of the body. I guess that's what he's referring to. Okay, let's go further. Giluach, grooming. We go to Lou. The time that we have. Yes.
Grooming. Grooming is part of honoring Shabbos and Yom Tov in order not to commence their observance when one is disheveled. According to the secret of the matter, the hairs are related to the aspect of strict justice, and it is proper to be very careful to groom every Erev Shabbos in order not to cause any harm to himself by giving power to the strangers to control him. The strangers. Heaven forbid. One should also be careful to groom before midday, because the afternoon is the time when the outer shell becomes stronger. Therefore, we have heard a warning to be cautious in this matter, even on Erev Shabbos. If Rosh Chodesh falls on Erev Shabbos, one should not groom on Thursday. One should groom on Thursday, because risking any danger is more severe, and one needs to be concerned about the will of Rabbi Yehuda HaChassid, who prohibited grooming on Rosh Chodesh. A person should be careful when he is grooming his hair or beard to immediately shake off any hair that falls on his person. in a place where there is a Jewish barber, one should not go to a non-Jewish one, because the Kabbalists wrote that one who gets a haircut from a non-Jewish barber removes from himself the divine image.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the reason that I only get a haircut every 15 days, choosing the least of all evils. Even though there is a rectification, my heart hesitates. His rectification is to have his intention on the name of God. What is this now? Elohim, Aleph Lamed, Ella Hadia. He should recite the following before his haircut. And God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. After the haircut, he must wash his hands. I never heard any of this stuff. What does he mean he only gets a haircut every 15 days? That sounds like very frequent to me.
Yes.
This is the reason.
He gets it once
confused about a lot. Yeah. It's a bit confusing, this paragraph. To me,
Yeah.
I don't understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah, the washing your hands after haircut, I knew about, and I do that. Sometimes I forget, but usually I do it. And I do go to a Jewish barber, but I have a haircut back once a month or once every 6 weeks.
Yeah, I have it once every 6 years.
be careful.
Yeah.
But so what, is it because of Tuma that you wash your hands? Are you somehow cutting your
Yeah.
hair?
Yeah, that's a clear halacha that's brought in the Mishnah Berurah. Just like when, just also, when one cuts off his nails, his fingernails, his toenails, he also washes his hands 3 times, just like he does in the morning when he wakes up.
I never heard that.
Those are all. This is. Yeah.
Was it a bracha or was that a bracha? That's what I don't know. What?
No, he doesn't make a bracha.
I thought
Does not make a bracha.
yeah, I didn't make a bracha because for once I wasn't too sure, but yeah, I didn't imagine it would.
Yeah, why you don't make a bracha every time you wash your hands when you're obligated to do so? Because it would seem as though it would seem that the reason, not sure what the reason is actually, not sure why you don't, but that's the bottom line halacha, that even though we do say you should wash your hands, but you don't make a bracha.
Maybe the bracha in the morning that you make covers those situations.
Well, that's for well, I mean, we know that every time a person goes to the bathroom, he makes a separate sher yotzer, even though he did make a sher yotzer in the morning when he went to the bathroom when he got up. Each time requires a separate bracha, and even if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he's half asleep, he should make sure he washes his hands, and so now he's got clean hands, and now he makes a now he makes a bracha. But yes, absolutely. The reason why we wash our hands is because there's a certain tuma that descends upon the hands as a result of going to sleep at night and sleep. And also the same thing goes when he goes to the bathroom. And also there's a tuma, and the same thing goes when he cuts his hair and cuts his nails. Same thing. It's absolutely so. It's associated with tuma, and that's why he speaks about some of these things that sound like Kabbalistic, and but there are just bottom line halachas that we all do, based upon the fact that we also hold that there is a tuma when a person has his hair cut.
I was told that if you go frequently to the toilet during the night, sort of every sort of 2 hours or every hour or something like that, making a bracha all the time is a bit much. You can make, if you know you're going to do that, you can make a bracha and say to yourself that this covers all the times I go until I say brachas in the morning.
At what, every 2 hours?
If you
I mean,
go,
if a person has stomach trouble,
yeah,
chas v'shalom lo aleinu, that's a different story.
yes, or
And then he's just even after he goes one time, he knows that his situation is not relieved, so to speak, and he's making the bracha because he's been relieved. But if it's not stomach trouble and it's just I don't know, frequently I don't know. Okay, if that's what the rabbi said, then that's what you got to do. Fine. But actually, one of the halachas of going to the bathroom is that which is very hard to do because we're all so busy and we have to get this done and that done, and we have to get to mincha and you have to do this and that. But really, the minute we go out of the bathroom, we're supposed to wash our hands right away, and right away make a bracha asher yotzar.
yeah.
And otherwise, after an hour or after even 30 minutes, it's a difficulty because at that point we already probably maybe even have a need. If we would go, we would be able to relieve ourselves at that point too, and then we're already on to the next bracha. It's no longer time to make the bracha for the first time that we had to relieve ourselves. So you see that each time you need to relieve yourself, and you successfully do so, you have to regard it as a great chesed of Hashem and make a bracha and thank Hashem that you were able to do that.
Shabbat Shalom, and it's 11:32.
Okay, now it's time.
Chodesh Tov.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Chodesh Tov.
Kodesh Tov, Shabbat Shalom, and Chanukah Sameach.
Amen.
A lot of things going this Shabbos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezras Hashem. Right. Remember to say Ala Nisim and Yala B'Yavo and Ritzei.
It's one of the
Longest benching in the year.
Yeah, Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh, and Ata Yotzarta in Shmon Esrei of Shabbos day. Okay.
Gives you a longer time to praise Hashem.
Yeah, that's right. Very good.
Amen.
More
Amen, Roy.
opportunity to speak to Hashem. Very good. I like that.
Shkoyach, Roy.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, good Shabbos.